Hello, YouTubers. Okay, it is 2/2/2016. Okay, we're over here on a story, and it's, well, naturally, Zika virus could become explosive pandemic. This is put out January 28th, 2016. And I do not like the source I'm getting it from, which is BBC. I don't like mainstream media, period. However, we got to check out the beast, right? Alright, so here we go. Alright, U.S. scientists have urged the World Health Organization to take urgent action over the Zika virus, which they say has explosive pandemic potential. Well, would that be because possibly the CDC wants it to be? I mean, just like Ebola and all that bullshit. All right, but anyway, Weepy Willow 2 Daily Data News coming at you. Writing in a U.S. medical journal, they called on the WHO to heed lessons from the Ebola outbreak and convene an emergency committee of disease experts. And, you know, if y'all looked at anything, because I did a story, several stories, which are underneath of this video, on the Ebola and the Zika virus and all this shit that I've already done. And I posted links underneath this video. Because best I recall when I did the Ebola, it had to do with people eating orangutans or some shit, you know. It didn't have anything to do with anything else. And I don't think we eat those here in this country. But anywho, alright, they wasn't cooking the meat all the way, or it was infected before they ate it, whatever the case may be. Alright, they said a vaccine might be ready. Oh, here we go with the push for the vaccine, folks. Goody. Might be ready for testing in 2 years. But, there's always that but. It could be a decade before it is publicly available. Yeah, I bet you. I mean, the FDA is just going to run it right through, you know. Zika linked to shrunken brains in children has caused panic in Brazil. Thousands of people have been infected there, and it has spread to some 20 countries. All from a little mosquito, and it's already hit, and we're just now hearing about Zika. You know, here a couple, 2-3 months ago, whenever it was, I did the first story or two, and now it's just everywhere. That damn mosquito must be able to fly. It's got freaking bat wings on that some picture or something, you know, airplane wings, whatever, to hit on 20 countries so quickly. Okay, would it be wrong to eradicate mosquitoes? No, I don't think so. I say kill the little suckers. I don't know what the hell good they do. But anyway, I'd have to check that out before I said go ahead and do it. The Brazilian president, Dilma Rousseff, has urged Latin America to unite in combating the virus. Well, I don't know how in the hell they're going to do anything against the mosquito. She told a summit in Ecuador that sharing knowledge about the disease was the only way they could be beaten. A meeting of regional health ministers has been called for next week. Writing in the Journal of American Medical Association, Daniel R. Lucy, okay, and Lawrence O. Gostin say the WHO's failure to act early in the recent Ebola crisis probably cost thousands of lives. Well, isn't that the agenda, folks? They warn that a similar catastrophe could unfold if swift action is not taken over the Zika virus. Oh, that's a push for that daggone vaccine. All right, an emergency committee should be convened urgently to advise the Director General about the conditions necessary to declare a public health emergency of international concern, Mr. Lucy and Mr. Gostin wrote. Okay, there goes the flights out of the country, folks. They added, the very process of convening the committee would catalyze international attention, funding, and research. Catalyze? White House spokesman Josh Earnest said on Wednesday the U.S. government intended to make a more concerted effort, to communicate with Americans about the risks associated with the virus. No cure. Okay. There is no cure for the virus, and the hunt is on for a vaccine. Led by scientists, those good old scientists, at the University of Texas Medical Branch. Stay the fuck away from there, folks. The researchers have visited Brazil to carry out research. Hell, they probably picked up some samples to bring back, so they can study it and go, oops, just like an African bee shit, Oops, it got out. They're free. They're out to, colonize the rest of the bees and jump in on their beehives and everything and mutate them. Okay. And collect samples and are now analyzing them in a suite of high security laboratories in Galveston, Texas. Oh my God, they brought them here. What fucking idiots. I mean, how freaking asinine, demonic, Frankenstein shit can these people be? Access to the building in Galveston is tightly controlled by police and the FBI. Yeah, I bet, because I don't want nobody to find out what the hell wicked shit they're doing up in there. Speaking to the BBC inside the facility, Professor Scott Weaver, director of the Institute for Human Infections and Immunity, said people were right to be frightened by the virus. Ooh. Okay, it's certainly a very significant risk, he said. And if infection of the fetus does occur and microcephaly develops, we have no ability to alter the outcome of that very bad disease, which is sometimes fatal or leaves children mentally incapacitated for the remainder of their lives. Hell, they're going after the children, folks. Microcephaly. There you go. You out and read all that shit yourself. Okay. And normal head size. Infant with microcephaly. Their head size is smaller. It's within the head. Okay. The Zika virus was discovered in monkeys in 1947. Well, shit Shiola. They probably held on to that, right? And I'm sure it's down there at CDC in a fucking petri dish or some shit down there, In Uganda's Zika forest. Oh, that's why and how it got its name. Okay, in 1947, then all of a sudden in 2016, we got an outbreak all over the fucking world. 20 different countries. Woo! With the first human case registered in Nigeria in 1954. Okay, so that's what, 12 years? Or am I going backwards here? 54, I'm going to show how shitty I am on math. 47, 48, 49, 51, 52, 53, 54. 7 years. Okay, but for decades, it did not appear to pose much of a threat to people and was largely ignored by the scientific community. I do know how to count, but I still have to use my fingers, y'all. I don't do all that mathematic shit. I got to have paper and pencil. Okay, it was only with an outbreak on the Micronesian island of Yap. Yap. What an island name. In 2007, that some researchers began to take an interest. Well, shit, that's why it's already here. They took an interest. Okay, they should have left it alone. In the past year, the virus exploded, said Professor Weaver, sweeping through the Caribbean and Latin America, infecting probably a couple of million people. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with their blood, Find a way to taint the fucking blood supply so they can hand it out to the rest of us if you need it. How Zika virus spread from Africa. Okay, here we go. Where's Africa? All right, here we go. Here's Africa, 1947, discovered in Uganda. Then it flew up there. A mosquito made it up to Pakistan, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And then it travels down to Yap in Micronesia in 2007. Took it a hell of a long time from there to here, didn't it? All right, 2013, French Polynesia. And then 2015, Brazil. And then, of course, from Brazil, zip, it flies up there to Mexico. And then zip, it's going to be up here to the United States of America and fucking Canada, no doubt. All right, but that's probably those freaking ass Bill Gates mosquitoes that he ended up loosing all over the place. And check this out. This is one reason I want to do this story, too. You see this freaking booger here? This damn mosquito? You see the white dots all over it and on its elbows or whatever you call them, on its legs and on its antennae. Well, that's the same damn picture of a mosquito they use for the chikungunya and whatever, the dengue fever. Okay? Same freaking mosquito. So, you know, and all that shit come out not too many years after old Gates ended up loosening that stuff down south. So, and they're impervious to bug spray, y'all. Alright, the symptoms in adults and children are similar to those of, oh, here we go, dengue fever. But generally milder, including flu-like aches, inflammation of the eyes, joint pain, and rashes, although some people have no symptoms at all. In rare cases, the disease may also lead to complications, including Guillain-Barré syndrome, a disorder of the nervous system, which can cause paralysis. Well, shit, they're just going to, besides dumbing our asses down, they're going to get us where we can't. We can't walk either, you know. What is the Zika virus? We're all going to be flailing around in the damn streets and shit, you know. Fuck the zombie syndrome. We're just going to be laid out in the street. Okay, what is the Zika virus? Spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Fuck, that was the same damn one I reported on for the freaking chikungunya, you know, or that other one, dengue. I swear it was, y'all. Y'all have to look at these videos that's underneath this video, because that's the same damn thing. Aegypti, Aedes aegypti mosquito, which also carries dengue fever and yellow fever. First discovered in Africa in the 1940s, but is now spreading in Latin America. Scientists say there is growing evidence of a link to microcephaly that leads to babies being born with small heads. Can lead to fever and a rash, but most people showed no symptoms, and there is no known cure. Only one